Hello everyone, this is Mondun Nagavan. In today's video, we are going to see JavaScript closures. In JavaScript, closures are something special. Why? Because it will be automatically created by the JavaScript. Let's go through the formal definition about the closure. A closure is the combination of functions bundled together or enclosed with the references to its surrounding state, which is nothing but the lexical environment. In other words, a closure gives you access to an outer function scope from an inner function. In JavaScript, closures are created every time a function is created at a function creation time. So it looks like a more formal definition. It has some technology terms such as like a lexical environment or bundled together. We will understand very easily by understanding two concepts. The first concept is a function can be defined inside another function. And second concept is a function can be written from the another function. By combining this concept, we will understand what is the closure. Let's consider the outer function here as the counter. So this counter function has the variable called I, and it has the function definition inside the show count, which will be displaying the I variable after incrementing. And as the function returns this function, so you can understand the counter function returns the show count function. But as per the definition, the show count function is created and surrounded by the another function, which means that it is the inner function. So that whenever the show count function is getting created, it will be having the copy of the I variable. Or let's say in imaginary, you can consider like a show count will be having the backpack, whichever it's getting created in that environment, whatever the variables, it will be getting the copy of that. So let's just call the counter function. When you call the counter function, obviously it will be returning the another function, which is nothing but the show count that we are saving into the counter one show count. When you call that function, obviously, whenever the show count got created, it has the variable I. So it will be attached to the counter function. So which means that the show count will be having the attachment towards the I variable. So whenever you just call the counter function, it creates the show count and it will be attached to the I variable, very specific only to the specific instance, and it will be returned. In this scenario, let's say if I call the first time, it will be having the value as 1 because I will be incremented, and after that 2, and after that 3, and after that 4. Why? Because whenever we call this counter function, this I variable is attached to that instance so that it will be incrementing. It has the, let's say, its own copy. That's why when we increment every time, it will be incrementing the same variable. Let's consider another scenario. You are calling another time the counter method, or let's say function. And again, it has its own instance and own copy of the I variable. So that's the reason when you call that function again, it will be starting from again 1, 2, and so on, which means that whenever the function got created in that lexical scope, or let's say wherever it is defined in that scope, if it has any variable, so that will be having the copy into that function. So whenever you return the show count function, it will be having the copy of I variable, or it will be enclosed with the show count variable. The variable in the sense the show count will be acting like a function object. So the I will be associated or enclosed to the show count method. That's the reason it will be called as a closure. So in this example, just execute node closure, enter. Here you can see the first one has been called for 4 times. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and second one has been called, but it has a different creation, right? So that's the reason it has its own copy. So that's why we are seeing 1 and 2 again. It's not starting from 5 and 6. So this is the actual working of the closures. In simple, you can understand the inner function will have the outer scope variables. Whenever you return that inner function, so it will be just to have a backpack. It will take all its variable context and it will be having its own variable. So this will be the definition, or this will be the examples you might be seeing in so many forums. But let's say what is the usage of the closures? The main point about closures is you cannot access the I variable directly by using the counter variable. It is just like acting like a private variable. So whenever you want something private, that time you can use the closure concept. Or otherwise, you can minimize the invoking methods, or let's say the count of invoking methods. In simple, you can control the number of functions invoked. So for that example, let's say the same kind of example, instead of just printing console.log the I value, I'm just having the condition I is equal to less than 2. Otherwise, I will be just mentioning the console.error. As of now, you can just ignore what is throw keyword that we will be seeing later, but in simple, it will be throwing some error to your console. and telling maximum attempts has been reached. But you can here clearly understand, whenever you call the counter function, it will be assigned to a new variable or new function. That function has its own limit. So that means whenever you create, let's say, for example, you create 100 functions by using the counter. Each counter will be having its own maximum limit, which will be 2. Right? So in this way, you can just make the maximum count or throttling for the any particular function. Here you can consider here, I have created 2 counter variable, or let's say the 2 functions will be written when you call the counter function, which is nothing but the show count. So that will be saved into the counter 1 show count, counter 2 show count. You can call only 2 times maximum. That's the reason. After, if you call, you will be getting the error. But let's say we will be calling that without reaching the maximum limit. You can see 1, 2 and 1, 2. The first 1, 2 will be the first variable, and second 1, 2 will be for the second variable or second function object. But let's say in the first scenario itself, I'm just moving out of the maximum limit, or I'm going out of the limit. That time you can see max attempt reached. So in this way, you can clearly understand, or you clearly mention the maximum limit of the function can be called. So this is one of the examples that closure can be used. So as a general recap, in order to understand the closures, we need to understand 2 concepts. A function can have the inner function, and another one, a function can return the another function as the variable. When you combine both this, inner function, outer function, and between outer function and inner function, if you have any variable, whenever you return the inner function, it will be having the copy of the outer function variables with that, or it will be having the, let's say, the backpack, and it will be having all the variables with that. So this is very informal definition about that, but the formal definition will be, again, a closure is the combination of function bundled together, which is nothing but inner and outer function, with references to its surrounding state, which means that the inner function having the references to its surrounding state, which is nothing but the outer function. That's the same thing again, it has been explained again. So, and it will be created by the JavaScript itself. Users will not be allowed to create the closures. And one more thing, the closure variables cannot be accessed from the outer side. Let's say by using the counter variable or somewhere, you cannot access the I variable in this example. So it will be acting like a private variable as well. So this is all about the closure. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.